Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the NAVARRA'S podcast. My name is Dominic and I work at NAVARRA'S, particularly Le Montage. I'm with my lovely colleague this morning, Maryam. Hey, Maryam.
Hey Dom, how are we?
Good, good. How's your morning?
Yeah, good. It's been all right.
Oh,
All right.
Fantastic. What's been happening this week on your end?
It's been pretty all right. Obviously, with the announcement last week, it got a bit chaotic in regards to, obviously everyone just having a few questions for their dates coming up in October. But otherwise, it's good. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what about you? How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I guess with recent announcements, I think we're finding out this week as well. I think maybe some like ease restrictions with vaccinated people. Hopefully, we'll see how we go. But I guess our plan today is discuss, with weddings, what's happening with weddings. I guess you and I are at the forefront of the weddings mostly throughout. Well, I guess since last year, we did last year together as well in 2020, and that was a roller coaster. Lots of
I think
fun.
we're going. What are we now? Almost a year and a half now.
Yeah, year and a half now. Yeah. Oh,
So
that
we've
was
been
a
on the
fun.
roller coaster a year and a half
I know.
together.
I remember those couple of weeks you and I were in the office together, like, we had Doritos and drinks, and we're like, let's just go for it. And then we had to call like 3 months of couples and events, and it was just it was a real shock. But I think at the end of it, it was an experience. I'm not going to say I'll say it was fun, but I don't think it was fun. But either one of those.
We look back at it now and we laugh about it, and I think we've learned along the way, and it's made us stronger, and be able to deal with it a lot better and easier this time round.
Definitely.
It's never easier, but at least nothing like first time.
Yeah. I guess that phone call when you're telling a bride or telling an event that, hey guys, fortunately we're in this lockdown again, and you have to originally you're their best friend because you're planning their wedding, and we want them to have the most beautiful wedding, and then we say to them, look, this isn't happening right now, unfortunately, what can we do? And then it's a whole different conversation, and I guess it also changes the way we speak to our couples as well. Like, we have this great relationship, and then it becomes to a point where we're like, you're a counselor and you got to play neutral, and you're like, well, I'm not sure the answers, but I'd love to give them to you. And, you're thinking all these hypothetical reasons, and you worry about them, you worry about yourself, and bit of back and forth, but God love them,
a lot of dealing with like mixed emotions as well, and on our end, we always have to, just take a step back and then just think, where we deal with, so many different couples within all the venues and throughout the whole year and a half, but they're only dealing with us. It's their wedding day. So you've got that mixed emotion, and you've got to take a step back and be as understanding as possible, 100%. But I think we've done all right. I think
we did okay. Yeah, exactly. It's a shame we're back here again, though, and I think the good thing about this year, I'd probably say, is that I guess people are a bit more understanding of what COVID is and what to expect, and I have to give it to our couples that they've been wonderful in terms of like dealing with and they understand more than we do, and even to our directors in the company, they've really given us some good options to say, look, give couples these options, they're great. I think it's just opportunities to make their weddings perfect. You know what I mean? It's a shame we can't predict the future and how far we can go ahead with these things. Like, I wish we can say, let's start moving December and Jan, because we're not sure, So,
that's right.
Yeah.
And I think especially right now, like, if you asked me a couple of months ago, I wouldn't even think we would be in this situation now. If you asked me a month ago, what I thought about the end of the year, I would probably say, again, make right off. I don't know. But then if you ask me from this week, I would say, hold on a minute. It actually looks like we'll probably be all right for that November, December time. So it's just an influx in changing, like literally a roller coaster.
I agree.
From last week to this week, it's totally changed.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good change. I think even the worry thing is, when you hear news articles, when you see the news articles, like, they're so different. The positive spin is wonderful, and I think we needed that, because I think everyone, including myself, had enough of just saying negative every week, and it's like, you know what, we can't do this anymore. So I love a good opening. So I think an opening is always good, especially with weddings. So hopefully we get some green light soon, and bring back what we've always wanted.
And do what we do best.
Definitely.
And we love. We've been myself and yourself have been doing this for a very long time. This what we've gone through, something we've never had to deal with before. So personally, I just want to go back to doing what we do best, you know, getting
100%,
people,
yeah.
you know, their dream wedding, creating so many different types of events, doing all of that, not this, you know, like you said, being a counselor, being someone. I feel like I'm just a person that checks dates now on the calendar,
Yeah.
you know, and admin worker, you know.
Literally, same. I know. Yeah.
So can't wait to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Well, guys, Maryam and I were going to discuss today, you know, what's happening with weddings coming up, what our opinions are with weddings, with government restrictions as well, even some feedback from our couples, I guess from, you know, some online questions from our social media, of course, as well. So I should have introed that before, but, you know, we started talking straight away because Maryam and I love a good banter, of course.
That's what I was going to say, John. We love to talk.
That's what we do best, I guess. Yeah. And it's all good. So let's look at some questions, I guess, in terms of what we discussed. Well, I guess we can just free flow like we normally do. Yeah. Sounds good.
Well, I think a lot of people were probably going to ask, well, we do get asked quite a lot of times, you know, what events are going to be, what we think events will be like towards the end of the year, events with restrictions, you know. We've actually gone through events which have had restrictions that may come into play towards the end of the year, and early next year. Who knows? We could have nothing. But I think a lot of people ask, you know, what events will look like towards the end of the year, like our thoughts on that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, look, I think there will be some form of restriction towards the end of the year. I think that's just because the safety of our guests and of all Australians, of course, as well. Like, we don't want to go from 0 to 100 overnight, because I think even people, including myself, will be a bit weird about that. I love that in a perfect world, but we have to be realistic at the same time. I think compared to last year when it was like 100 guests, 150, 300, it was sort of breaking the elements a bit more. But surprisingly, clients are very responsive with that, and they worked really well with it, which was great. I think our directors, along with like our competitor venues as well, along with like the Restaurant and Catering Association, are really working close with the government to say, you know, how can we open up in a safe way? And I think possibly bringing back the forced community rule might be the case. I think you and I have discussed this previously as well. And I think that would work really well. I think it's just, you know, giving everyone the opportunity to still go to a wedding and have a good time, and even see their relatives. Like, it's been so hard not being able to mingle and all that as well. But I think, you know, as this country is opening up slowly, and, you know, I think this might be the future in terms of little restrictions, but making it work at the same time. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, there will be some restrictions in place, but nothing that will, you know, determine how good your event is, you know, or like anything. I think there's small ones, and like I said to you, we've already dealt with them previously. A lot of people ask questions about, or they would stress about the no dancing, or the mingling, or there were things like, you know, not being able to stand with alcohol outside, and things. And I think towards the end of last year, we were dealing with a lot of that, and we had many successful events, you know, because we're very quick to adapt with changes. We've learned so quick and easy how we can, you know, okay, you can't stand with a drink. It's okay. We'll work out a different way to do, you know, pre-dinner drinks and canapes and make things work. So I think everyone needs to just have that reassurance that basically, if there is restrictions towards the end of the year, and they are minor ones, like, you know, 50 people on a dance floor, or no drink out indoors, I think they're things that will not impact your event.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Do it. If you've got the opportunity to get married at the end of the year with these small, you know, minor restrictions, then just do it, you know, because I think the last couple of months has shown us we don't know what can happen within, you know, early next year, or anything like that, you know, hopefully not. But yeah, I agree. I agree with you. There will be some restrictions, but nothing drastic. Where again, we're shut down and can't have the event.
Yeah, of course. Well, not to a point where we're just like, there's no fun in it. That's probably the thing that isn't fun about it at all, you know? But look, even last year, like, I think you'd probably say yourself as well, we received so many reviews after our events last year about how wonderful they were, how memorable they were. And that sort of brought back the staff's energy as well, and the wait staff and the chefs as well, because, you know, you want to go back to a wedding or an event that's going to be fun and exciting. And that's what we're known for, you know?
Yeah.
But our reviews doubled in terms of we had the best time. You know, we think you're making it amazing, and it was just so nice to hear, because we were like, oh God, we hope they're, you know, used to what this new changes. But yeah.
And on our end, we can tell them, and we can try and reassure everybody, every couple, that their event will be fine. But, at the end of the day, until it happens and they see what we actually mean, that's a different story. And that's what we got a lot of the reviews, like you said, a lot of them were, hey, you know what, you made my dream day just as perfect. COVID didn't affect my wedding day. You were right.
Yeah.
And like you said, that this is what we do. That's what we're best at doing, and we're adapters. We're the industry's leaders, so we will make every event perfect.
Of course, yeah, exactly. And the good thing about it, we've got great quality food, great quality chefs. The team are wonderful as well too, and look, the venue's beautiful. Like, we're so proud of our venues, and we have been for almost 50 years now. All right, Maryam. So some of our wonderful clients and our social media supporters have a few questions in regards to what is happening with weddings and what the NAVARRA team are doing. Let's go to Nick, who asked, should we start changing the way we plan? What do you think?
That's a good question. I always think you don't have to change the way you plan. I think it's still good and great to just keep going full steam with what you originally planned. I think it's always, during these times, like I said, the last year and a half has shown us, it's always good to just keep at the back of your mind that things may need to change along the way. If you're open to that and you've got that at the back of your mind, going through planning a wedding in the next couple of months or next year is going to be a lot easier for you. But I think, look, if anything, we still go full steam ahead. Hopefully what we're going through is not for a long time. Hopefully with us getting vaccinated and learning more about the virus and how they can tackle it, then further on, in the next couple of months and years, this is just going to be behind us.
Yes.
And if anything, we can go bigger and better with things. So my take is still plan as you go. I've actually been telling my couples that are in November to still plan as normal. Nothing needs to change as of yet until we've got further instruction. And then when that comes, we're here to help change what needs to change.
Definitely.
That's the most important thing. We're here to help them, to guide them as well. So that's what I think. What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely plan. If you're in November onwards, definitely plan as is. I think it's just a matter of when you plan your way, because you don't want to not plan and then come November time when we can run weddings and you're like, oh, I don't want to move my wedding. I've got my wedding dress hanging up in my bedroom and I have no idea what to do with it. Like, you don't want to be pushed back to early next year when you're like, I could have got this done, so definitely plan as is. Even with invitations, there's ways to be savvy. So many couples last year started doing online invitations and text messages, and there's so much quirky, cool ways with graphics where you can do invites, So I've invited to a few weddings and it's all online and the online invites, and they're great, because if there are changes, then save a lot of cost as well. It's probably the best way to go, which is great. And again, suppliers are working with venues. I think it's, there's obviously no wedding if the venues can't host these weddings anyway. So I think the suppliers will work really well with you in saying, look, I can't do this date. Can I do this date as well? And because it all comes down to if we can host the wedding or not, So I think we're sort of like the backbone of hosting it, and then suppliers jump on board. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. So we agree on just keep on planning full steam ahead. And
Definitely.
then if anything needs to change, we're here to help to do that. So
100%, definitely. Yeah. Oh, we can't wait to help. Oh my God.
Oh, I agree.
I'm like, who wants to do a guest list? I do. Yes, let's do it. Let's put your cousins and Rellos in the corners, and I don't like the dress. Put her over there. That's it.
We're ready to go.
Yeah. Sounds good. Cool. Sounds good. All right, let's look at another question as well. Okay, so this is from from Ina. When do you think weddings will be able to happen? Ooh, good question, Ina.
Well, that's a $1 million question.
Exactly, it's a $1 million question. Yeah.
I think you would agree that we're thinking from that November onwards. I've even got that little bit of hope for end of October, to be honest with you.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I know at Curzon Hall and Oatlands House at Congaroo, there's a lot of people, and Newfoundland Montage, there's a lot of people that are hanging on to their October dates.
Oh yes, definitely.
And wanting to go ahead with that and for the rest of the year. So I think with how we're going with vaccination rates and what we've been hearing this week, I do possibly think towards the end of October and November we would go back again. $1 million question. I don't know. It could change.
Yeah, no, I think we're on the same page, Maryam. I think I agree with in terms of Yeah, end of October, November. I have a lot of couples who have these dates who they booked it 2 years ago with us, and and they're like, we want this date so bad, so they're going to hang on until they can get it, and then if not, we can make it work. Now, Maryam, last question for the day comes from Annalise. So she's asking, should she book her wedding? And I think she's looking to, well, from her inquiry, she says she's looking to host her wedding in May next year, which is great. So should she be booking her wedding? What do you think?
I'm a big yes. Do it. I don't think this should what we're going through should put anyone on hold or on pause. I know, look, probably from all of our venues, and everyone's already probably thinking this, a lot of our dates for next year are getting heavily booked. But I've been seeing a great increase in 2023 inquiries now, and even 2024, so I'm a big pick up the phone, send the email inquiry, whatever it is. I know myself and yourself are still doing phone appointments and virtual appointments and doing all of that. So to Annalise, I say definitely still start planning and get the ball rolling for 100%. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Yeah, so as you said, we are definitely doing virtual appointments. So get the ball rolling. If you want to date and you want to get your church dates, and as you're technically competing with a lot of couples who are planning their weddings, who had to move their wedding from June, July, sometimes in some venues, and even including vendors and people booking for mid next year. Like May is a great time of year to get married. If this vaccine rolls out and you can go a little bit overseas, it's just before winter and people are going to go overseas, which is great. Hopefully, look at me, wishful thinking to travel overseas, of course. But I'm not going anywhere because I'm here to plan your wedding. So don't go. I always get in trouble about my couple saying that, stay in Sydney. I'm like, okay.
We're not going 6 weeks to Lebanon. No.
Yeah, I know. Look out. Both Maryam and I are Lebanese, everyone. So yes, that's the way it is. Yeah, no, definitely. I really think, start planning straight away. Get your dates. I think getting your dates, getting the church dates as well for people getting married in the church, of course, they're really hard to get these days, especially. And, if you want your Saturdays, your Sundays, even your Fridays, such big dates. And you're competing with everyone who's getting engaged, everyone getting married, even people who weren't booking their weddings, like when we first went into lockdown because they couldn't go around. Like, the time is now, because when we reopen to start seeing appointments again, we're going to get slammed. So if you're ready now and you're happy to see someone virtually and the venues quite well, and we can go to the venues with you with photos, get one foot ahead 100%, because you don't want to be miss out on a date and have to move it a few months down the track. And start planning your life. It's the best way.
Exactly right. Yeah, and I think it's still an exciting time. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to take that away from everyone. So I know myself and you, we've had appointments the last couple of weeks, and they're talking to, I had one the other day where I was talking to the whole family at dinner time. So, and we're so easy and flexible to work with. So we work with what times work with you guys as well. So we are still just because we're in a lockdown. And we may not be at the venues, we are still active and we are still booking and we are still, contacting all of our inquiries and dealing and giving as much information as we possibly can. So we're still here to help with whatever questions that we can. That's the most important.
Yeah. I think you answered that really well. Good. Good on you, Maryam. Okay, well, thanks so much for today. This is great. It's nice seeing you. I know we talk on the phone and Skype all the time, but always a pleasure. It's a shame we can't physically see each other. And our team, I miss them.
I know, and I think our team as well. Both of us can say they just want to get back into the swing of things, see all their couples again, and get ball rolling. And I mostly just want to start seeing all the newly engaged couples, and making everyone's dreams come true again. So that's the most important thing, and what we're looking forward to. So
exactly, definitely great. Oh, well, thanks so much, guys. And thanks so much, audience of NAVARRA Venues.
Thank you for the questions, and please keep sending them, keep sending them this way, and we'll keep on trying to answer them as much as we possibly can during this time. Most definitely.
Fantastic. Sounds good. You'll also be hearing from our other colleagues, guys, in the next couple of weeks as well, with some questions that you may have. So keep coming through. Myself and Maryam will try and jump on again as well. And then, we'd love to see you guys again, but be safe, of course. Follow the government restrictions. Let's hope for the best, and we hope to see you guys October, November, hopefully as well.
Yeah, okay? To all of our October, November, December clients, we are, we're praying and we're hoping within the next couple of weeks we've got the answer, and we can just, we can party bigger and better, if anything.
Oh, we can't wait. Oh my God, I'm going to throw
especially Especially me and Dominic.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna throw antipasto at everyone. I'm like, prosciutto for you, prosciutto for you. Go for it.
That's it.
Sounds good.
All
All right,
right.
my lovely.
All
Thanks so
right,
much.
ciao, Dom.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.